What's going on, everybody? And it is time for another junkyard video here in Japan. We're back at Miyagi's, one of my favorite junkyards, so stay tuned. Let's go see what kind of cool stuff we can find. Oh no. Oh no. Right off the bat, a Silvia S14. And this thing is crushed. You might be able to salvage the catback on here, but it is jacked up. Man. Maybe that like rear reflector. This thing is toast. And it was turbocharged, so it had an SR20. Bummer, bummer, bummer. See a little intercooler right here. Man. Bride seats, you gotta be kidding me. No, what happened? What happened to you? Another JDM legend gone, boys. Man. So sad to see. Oh, and it still has the engine in it. Jeez, look at that. First car, as soon as I walk in here. So for those that don't know, that haven't seen any Miyagi's videos, it is a pick and pull style junkyard here in Japan. So I'm gonna walk around and there's all sorts of random Japanese cars. And if you see any parts, you can just pull them off. They'll give you a quote, you pay, you walk out the door. It's that easy. Kind of like what they have in the States. However, it's just full of JDM cars and sometimes JDM legends. So let's go see what else we can find. No, look at this, a Honda Beat. No, what are you doing up there? Get down. Man, Honda Beat, little K car, guys. Little 660cc, rear wheel drive, little convertible. This never made it to the States. Check this out, Beat. Midship amusement, engine is in the back. Such a cool car. I would love to get one of these and put a Busa motor in it. I'm sure it can be done. Mugen Power stickers, spoiler. Bummer. Bummer, bummer, bummer. Oh, for all those Honda fans out there. That sucks to see. That's too bad. Whole bunch of cars today. Here's a Subaru Legacy wagon. Still got the key sitting in there. Definitely some salvageable parts for the guys in the States that want to kind of convert over to a JDM. There's the top mount intercooler sitting right there. So it's the EJ20 DETT. So it's twin turbo, but you can see the top mount intercooler has been removed. Probably because somebody needed something that was up underneath there, but you can see the turbo. There's one turbo there, one turbo there, still intact. I mean, the engine honestly looks like it's in pretty good shape. All the hoses are in good shape. So I don't know what the reason for this vehicle to get junked was, but perfectly good Subaru, I would imagine. So I'll explain a little bit of the process out here for military members and JDM cars. So if you're here for, let's say, 2 years or 3 years, we have that JCI that I've mentioned in the past. Well, with the JCI, it's a pretty strict two-year inspection that can cost some money, especially if you're not real handy when it comes to working on cars. So let's say you buy a Subaru Legacy when you first get here and it has a 2-year JCI and you're only here for 2 years and your time's coming up to leave the island. You have one of two choices. You can either sell the car or you can junk the car. Well, if you sell the car, most buyers want to have a new JCI. So if there's some stuff that's wrong with the car and you're like, okay, well, it's gonna cost $1,000, maybe $1,500 to fix it. I'm really not gonna make that much money. So I'd rather just junk it because the junkyard will actually probably give you like $300 to $400 for a car like this. So if you spend $1,500, $2,000, you drove the car for 2 years, you got your money's worth, you leave, you junk it, you get a few $100 on your way out. It's easy as that, because for military members, you cannot leave Okinawa with a car in your name. You have to either sell it or junk it. So that's why a lot of these cars are in perfectly good condition, why they end up in the junkyard. And it's kind of sad. I wish there was a workaround, but it's just like the Japanese policy out here for US military members. And most of these cars were owned by Americans out here because we are close to the base. I'm just trying to give you guys a little bit of insight on Miyagi's. These aren't Japanese that are dropping these cars off for the most part. These are American owned, like I said. So here's another Subaru B4. It's not crashed, right? None of these cars, well, some of the cars, but most of the cars are not crashed. Like, look, good tire tread, good wheels. I'm sure the interior is in good condition. Look at this. Look at this front tire. That sucker's almost new. And once again, this has a EJ20 DETT, a twin turbo engine. Minimal rust underneath, no leaks, nothing. Pretty clean car. But unfortunately, the fact that the car is sitting here in this junkyard means that it is done. Like there is no, I know the question always comes up every time I do one of these videos. Like, oh, I saw that Altezza you spotted. Can I buy it? Can I buy it and get it shipped to, you know, wherever I'm at in the world? Unfortunately, no. Once the car is deregistered and it is handed over to the junkyard owns the car. Another example, here's another B4. Little front end damage, maybe somebody got an fender bender, and for JCI, they'd have to get a new bumper. Well, how much is that gonna cost? You know what I mean? So, like, I'll just junk it. The car looks like it's in good shape, and I know there's millions of Americans out there, myself included, you know, that would love to get their hands on these cars. And we buy these cars out here dirt cheap. B4s, you find them everywhere for anywhere from $2,000 to $4,000 US. You can find a 5-speed manual. It's all-wheel drive, twin turbo for $4,000. Are you kidding me? You can't find a car in the States that's all-wheel drive with a twin turbo for that much. That's in good condition with low miles. So that's my vent on Miyagi's. I know I've done some videos in the past, and the question always comes up, hey, how do I get these cars? How do I get these cars? Unfortunately, they're done. This is it. They're gonna sit here for a little while. Us Americans that have cars, so like for me, for instance, I have a Nissan L Grand. Well, let's say I got into a minor collision and I busted my headlight. I could come here and I could pull this headlight off and then walk out and throw it on my car. But this L Grand is gonna sit here. But I mean, this thing's crushed. Who'd want it anyways? There's a Toyota Cresta. There's not a whole lot of cars back here. There's a Z3. Pajero. I'm trying to find like the JDM Legends. A lot of Nissan Cubes. But a lot of these really cheap, like eco-friendly cars, small engines. So Americans, they get here, they want 4-doors, they have kids maybe, and they just want something to last them their 2 years here. And these cars last. These cars are good. I'm almost guarantee that most of these cars were driven to the junkyard when it was handed over. These weren't towed in. The ones that were in accidents or maybe, you know, an engine problem, somebody was neglecting and not changing the oil, not doing the maintenance, and the engine blows up, then yeah, they were towed in and they're like, you know what, screw it, junk it, I'll go get a new car. Here's a Subaru Impreza. Just chilling. Now I have considered doing more of these videos, and if you guys do see certain parts on cars, I know I've been asked before, like, hey, can you give me headlights for this car, a bumper for that car? I wouldn't mind selling and shipping out small items, like maybe emblems or things like that, shift knobs, but like big parts, like a front bumper, logistically from Japan, we're on a small island, it's going to cost a whole lot. It's definitely not worth it. As I do these videos walking around, if you see something that maybe catches your eyes, you can go over to Instagram, Captain26, and maybe DM me over there and we could talk it out. But as far as shipping cars out of here, it's definitely not going to happen. But I have seen Silvias in here. Yeah, we saw that S14. I've seen RX-7s. I've seen an Evo. I've seen a whole bunch of cars here. So here's a Honda Integra right here. So for the Acura RSX guys back in the States, you know, you got the Honda badge, the Integra badge, things like that. So I'm considering and entertaining the idea of that. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put that out there right now. Let me know what you guys think, if that's something you guys would be interested in, but we're gonna keep walking around and see if there's anything else we can find. There's a Toyota Altezza for you guys. For all the Lexus IS300 owners, if you wanna JDM your vehicle out, you know, possibly some parts on here. And I know a lot of people always say, like, I'm like, oh, it's a Toyota Altezza, and they're like, no, it's not. That's a Lexus IS300. For the record, there is no Lexus IS300 in Japan. It is a Toyota Altezza. Same thing when I say Honda Integra. Everybody's like, no, that's not a Honda Integra, that's a RSX, you dummy. Check it out. Honda Integra. Same thing with this. Nissan Skyline. There's no Infiniti. There's no, pretty much all like the luxury brands of all the major manufacturers in Japan. So there's no Acura, Lexus, Infiniti, etc. So just throwing that out there. There are some, you'll see like some Infiniti Mark cars or some Lexuses, yeah, possibly imported, but they're not very common, very popular out here. There's another Skyline 350 GT. So it's essentially a G35. It's got the same engine, the VQ35. it's just debadged. But if you got a G35 in the States and you want to JDM it out to Skyline, you know, possibly an option, put some stuff on there. But, oh, getting out the way. I was just about to say, it's got the VQ35, super nice engine. And there it goes. Just like that, right in front of me. RIP Skyline. But the car looks like it's in perfectly good shape. This is a small little dent on the rear bumper. And these guys are gonna cut lines, drain fluids, and pretty much probably pull the engine out and get it out of here. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for today's video. I'm sweating out here. The humidity is getting insane in Okinawa. But as always, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more JDM car content. I'm gonna have a lot more coming for you guys. And I gotta make up for the inactivity of the last 2 weeks. So you definitely don't wanna miss that. And go follow me on Instagram at Captain26 so you can see more of my JDM adventure out here in Japan. And I will see y'all in the next video. Later.